Well, we're back in St. George, Utah.
Right.
We love this place.
Oh, it's my home away from home.
And every November, mid-November, they have the Color Country Model Railroad Open House. And that's just really fun to come to.
Right.
We've seen a bunch of these railroads and gotten to know quite a few of these people too.
Right. It's always fun to reconnect.
And this one, we always have to start here.
Exactly.
This is Terry Schramm's. It's his Christmas layout. But unlike a lot of Christmas layouts, he can't take it down. It's way too big.
Right.
It's 1,500 square feet
Ooh.
of Christmas Village and Lionel trains, 400 locomotives, several thousand cars, and hundreds of Department 56 Snow Village buildings.
Wow.
So a lot of people collect these Department 56 structures.
Well, I can understand why.
They're so neat, and this series, the Snow Village, is really their Christmas village. And people will collect these and put them up, and then quite often they incorporate that with a model railroad, which is exactly what Terry Schramm has done. He's been a Lionel collector for his whole life, and look at these locomotives. They are all perfect, just fresh out of the box, new old stock, if you will. Not one of them shows any wear and tear at all. And over 400 locomotives.
Wow, that's amazing.
My mind is boggled. But this is Terry Schramm, who's been putting this collection together. It includes a little bit of Marks as well, but it's mostly a Lionel collection.
We're actually talking now about after this is over with, just getting where everybody opens up and take a watch around and see all of it. Over 400 Lionel locomotives, about 2,000 cars, and we're up to 578 Snow Village buildings this year. I added 10 since last year. It's still growing, but...
And you were saying they don't all fit out here now.
No, I actually have 515 that are on the display. And I got 63 of them that are still in their boxes that I haven't been able to work into the display. I'm looking at starting to rotate them around, though.
Okay. Yeah, when we were here before, it was like you kept scooting things over and scooting things over. It was like there's a finite amount of scooting over you can do.
Yeah, if you go too far, then you ruin the whole thing.
Yeah.
You know, you lose all the effect of it, I think.
We need a bigger house.
I know.
Have you told Peggy yet?
Yeah, that didn't go over too well.
This is such a beautiful collection. It just dazzles the eyes. It's just all you can do to take it in a glance.
Well, and that's one of the things. You can look all around here at the various trains and the various buildings, but there's just no way. There's just no way that you're going to see everything because you cannot see the trees for the forest.
Right. It's just, I see something different every time I see this railroad.
Yep, I've seen like this Lionel train from 1910. Until Terry pointed it out, it's like it's just one of many, many trains here. And then you realize how special it is, this Marks from 1915. And look at that. It looks like it has never, ever been out of the box.
Oh, some of my favorites.
Oh, and just shelf after shelf after shelf of the exact same quality of thing here in this collection. And as you look around the room at all these trains, even back behind the layout where the shelves are, they go ceiling to floor.
Exactly.
And there still isn't room for everything.
No.
He keeps finding new things and putting, and there's just no place to put it anymore. This huge room is completely full.
Wow. Looks like there's every single kind of Lionel train available. I like the tin plate. That's my favorite.
The old stuff like that
Right.
is just so fun. a stamped metal train like this, just unbelievable, unbelievable. And look at the copper and brass.
It's beautiful.
What an era. And then some of these trains are the later plastic trains.
Right, they're beautiful too.
But they're different. They're beautiful in their own right. But it's just incredible to see this many Lionel trains all in one place.
It reminds me of being in a toy store at Christmas time, and you just don't know what you want to look at first.
Oh, that's exactly it. You know, they used to have these Lionel store displays. They
Right.
were nothing like this. But one of the things I looked forward to most at Christmas is Sears
Right.
would put up their Lionel layout. And then, of course, they brought in the actual Mr. and Mrs. Claus. Now, I knew for a fact that most of the Santa Clauses were not real Santa Clauses, but the Sears one, that was
the real thing,
real
man.
Santa
Yeah,
Claus.
that was the real one.
Now, look what happens when he turns out the room lights.
Oh, still, it's more magic.
There are thousands of LEDs lighting up. This is some Christmas lights.
Oh, no kidding.
You know, sometimes people hang Christmas lights on the outside of their house, but I've never seen this many Christmas lights in one place before. It's mind-boggling.
Oh, wow, look, it's a 1965 Mustang. Everybody's Christmas dream.
Oh, and red convertible.
Yes.
But all of this, you know, all these different eras that are presented, the diner here and the downtown areas, all dressed for Christmas.
You know, I always envisioned my mom and dad back when they were dating that this was what it was like for them at Christmas time.
Well, and for me, some of those great Christmas traditions, I know that, you know, people go, well, you're just getting old and that. But I just loved the old Christmas lights that they strung up downtown, and the Santa Claus and the displays in the stores, and going to the Christmas tree lot with the real Christmas trees. It's just like that movie, Christmas Story.
Right, it's just magical.
It's just magic. One of my favorite memories from back then was every year a whole lot of people would go to the Christmas parade, and it would be held in the evening, in the early evening, I think on Thanksgiving, but probably on what we now call Black Friday. And at the end of the parade, as Santa Claus came by, they would switch on the Christmas lights directly behind him. So he introduced the Christmas lights as he came down the street.
Right, and Salt Lake City, from my childhood memory, they didn't decorate like none other.
Oh, it was
just fantabulous.
just amazing display downtown, and all those lights would come on. And then we would walk to Keith's Hobbies and look at trains going around.
Right.
And of course, my brother and I always got a train from Keith's Hobbies.
Oh boy. Wow. I think Christmas ornaments back then were more decorative. They were shiny and chromy. And did you have a favorite ornament when you were a kid?
I think we all did. Mine was actually a pine cone.
Oh, that's cool.
It was a misshapen pine cone. I think they'd intentionally modified it into the shape of an owl's head.
Aw,
I loved that ornament.
man.
And I bet you had a favorite ornament.
I did. It was a favorite Christmas ball because we had the old tinsel tree with the color light wheel. But I had my favorite ball, and it was chrome with a pink stripe, and it had snow at either end of it and a blue turquoisey stripe around the snow parts. It was my favorite. That was my job, hanging my favorite Christmas ornament on the tree.
And they were precious because
Oh,
they
yeah.
were expensive.
Right, we only had 2 boxes of ornaments, so that was covered the whole tree.
Expensive and fragile.
Yep, I broke one. I remember to this day it was yellow, and it fell off behind our tinsel tree. And for years later, every time we get that box of ornaments open, that little empty cube was right there looking at me. Yeah, always remembered that.
Well, we have a lot more railroads to follow up while we're here.
Oh, absolutely.
So for the next few weeks, we're going to be looking at model railroads here in the St. George area of Utah.
Oh, it's worth the drive.
If you're not a subscriber or maybe even a member, you can always join to help financially support the channel. But if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. Doesn't cost anything, doesn't hurt anything, and you can do that with the upcoming blue button. Zoink, right there,
There it is.
the blue button. Well, we're not sure how you found this video on the internet. We hope you didn't find it boring, and we will see you here on Tuesday with some of that Tuesday stuff. Bye-bye.
Bye.